Now, micro geckos like this tiny little Eurodactylotes are quickly becoming a really fun species, so I'm definitely going to be wanting more. Just having a fun-sized little tiny animal cling to your fingertip, I mean, what could be better? However, when we're working with micro geckos, the average tank is going to come with some problems. Your average Exoterra and Zoom out are going to have some holes that, while your normal crested gecko can't fit through, something like the Eurodactylotes or even smaller species might have some issues being able to get through that, and it's definitely not something we want. But I think I actually found one of the perfect mini enclosures for, well, mini geckos. It's exactly what we're going to be checking out today. An enclosure company that was kind enough to send me a few enclosures to check out and do a review for you guys, while also giving you guys the chance to win one of these enclosures that we are going to be talking about today. Stick around to the end of the video to learn more about that, and of course, let's get into it. The thing about building mini cages are going to be, they're going to come in a mini size. No more giant, heavy packages lying around because we just got this bad boy right here. The company is actually Tuxum Cages. Tuxum. I like that one better. Tuxum Cages, and we're gonna have a really nice mini enclosure. They're actually meant to be mini enclosures, so they're used for some of these micro geckos that we are working with now that have come here pretty new. So let's open this bad boy up and check it out. I can bench 225, but I can't rip tape. What is going on? I savagely ripped that box open with my bare hands and definitely didn't use scissors or anything like that. We can check this bad boy out. Now, it's really just going to be as easy as this. This is a fairly small cage coming in at an 8x8x12, and something I like about this is there are a couple different color panels you can go with. There's pretty much the white and the black. Now, enclosures are actually going to be pretty simple. It's just, you know, 4 walls, a floor, a ceiling, and a door, which I guess is 3 walls and a door, but same premise. I actually built a couple of these already just to check them out, give it so we can give also like a short review on how the building goes, while also a long review, having them for about a week now and seeing how they stood up within that time period. We'll go step by step in building this. Something I'll say is, like most things in life, building it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. I don't know, I just feel like building any PVC cage with some of these, like, especially when they're like IKEA formatted, right, so no tools required, I wish they would just give me an enclosure that had tools. I have the tools, PVC companies, just to let me use them, but hey, not everyone does, so I get why they do this, but it just makes the building annoying. Well, that's the description word I'll be going with today, annoying. Instructions themselves are very easy to follow. It's not like it's a very complicated process. It does need to be very particular, which is why I want to go and build this stuff with you guys step by step, so I can tell you guys like some of the mistakes I made. I actually had to redo mine about 2 or 3 different times. More times than I'd like to admit, because I just made like these simple mistakes where as we went further into it, I realized, oh, this doesn't connect, it has to be this way, which means I have to tear the entire thing apart and start over. Hey, you guys won't be wow, that really messes up the white balance. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Step 1 is you're gonna take your number 1, they've got little stickers on all of them, and your number 3. And now one thing to make sure is you're gonna wanna make sure that this is like this, so when the door hinges it goes like that, and that this little curved top up here, this little sting pointing out, that's on top. Now we're gonna need to remember that, because it's gonna come important later on, about 3 steps from now, that you wouldn't think about until you get there, then it becomes an issue. Step 2, you're going to take your 2 board and then put it in basically the same way. However, remember the little spiky strip part up top, put that up top so it matches with the first one that we did. Just like that, with a little bit of elbow grease, you can get it on there, no problem. Step 3, you're gonna put the floor in just like so. However, it goes in on the back end actually, so you're gonna have to bump this a little bit more up to be able to slide the floor through. Probably should have left them a little bumped out, but hey, we are where we are, so let's redo the mistakes that we've already made right now. Come on. God damn it. Son of a... Come, just go. Just fucking... Just let me use tools. Just let me fucking screw some walls in. It's like that, you get the floor on. It's really easy, guys. It's a simple step-by-step plan. Really no frustration going on with it. But let's move on to step number 4. Again, step number 4 can be a little tricky. Now, all we have to really do is put the screen on. However, there's one important part you guys need to remember. That's going to be, you want the door hinge to be where the door is going to go. Remember, there's going to be a spot on top for the door peg and then one on the bottom. That way, when you put it in, you open it and it goes. So make sure that this way right here is the opposite of your door hinge. So it's going to be like this. This is mistake number 4 that I made when trying to build this. I'll show you guys how this is done. Here's a real life example. Oh. That was pretty easy. If you haven't thrown your mini enclosure against the wall and cursed yourself while taking a break for the next couple of days, we're almost done. Just a couple more parts to do. Step 4 is going to be, whatever step we're on is going to be, we're gonna put this on here, just like so. And then we're going to put the final piece, the door. No, I did it, okay. These 2 steps are actually gonna be in conjunction with each other. You can't put the door on, or the roof on and then the door. You kind of have to do them at the same time. It's a little bit tricky. Trust me, while the building process is, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna be like, it's super easy. It's kind of a pain in the ass, dude. I mean, it's a small enclosure, building these little fucking sliding things, a little bit of pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The silver lining to this is, once you get it in, this shit ain't going anywhere, dude. This isn't no floppy little move. This thing is sturdy once it's in, which I feel like that's why it's such a pain, because once you got it in there, dude, it's not going anywhere. There's no small crevice where your micro gecko's gonna pop out. I'd rather spend the 20 minutes trying to assemble this rather than worrying about, once I put the enclosure in, say, a couple of minutes, if my animal's actually gonna get out of it. So security should be our top measure. Ease of construction, at the end of the day, you only gotta do it one time. So we'll do it this one time and we'll get it over with. Let's put this door on. Gotta do this, and you never have to just go. Why? Just son of a bitch. It just, why? It's stuck. It's stuck. All right, it's in. Why? It's. Why? Why? Wait. Why doesn't... Why... Why does it not go in? It slides in and then it stops. And this falls off where this is on. Why does it do that? Is it supposed to do that? I wouldn't think so. So why? Is it to enrage me? Is it to make me break this so I have to buy another one? Which one is it? Just like that, guys, the roof's on. But remember, before you put the roof completely on, you gotta get the door on, or else you're gonna mess the whole thing up, and you gotta take it apart and do it all over again. We don't want that. Another little bonus tip for you guys: when you start putting the ceiling completely on, you're gonna have to move these pegs. Now, for some reason, I believe they forgot to put in my box the jaws of life. In order to move these pegs, because by God, if you didn't think they could move, I don't blame you. I also did no idea things you could move. I think I had to get some pliers or something to pry them open, because it just won't move, dude. I'm gonna try it with my hands and see if it's physically possible. Remember, big strong man. I can probably get it done. Ow, my finger. We're not cavemen. We have the technology. 2. Okay. And we put the door on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's on, baby. That shit ain't going anywhere. It's done. Fuck it. It's done. I'm just kidding. We have one more step. Just like that, boys and girls, boom. Here it is. Time for the expert affiliated review of the building portion of this. Remember, this is going to be a two-part review. We've got building the cage and then how the cage is, because I've owned these for a couple of weeks. This is the third one that I built. A building, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Old Dakota, whenever, even if he does sponsorships, I don't lie to your face. It is a bit of a pain in the ass to put together. Oh man. Between, like, I don't think it's any different between, like, the other enclosures that I built before. It's pretty on par. Really, any of these, like, no tools required, they're always the IKEA version of reptile enclosures. They're kind of always going to be a pain in the ass to put together because they have to be so perfectly aligned because they're not being held together by tools. We're in the 21st century and people just can't use tools for some reason, and they're like, oh, no tools required. But I swear to God, reptile enclosure companies, these would be so much easier to make if you just let me use my tools to build them. My own, I'll be like, hey, you need all the tools. You're gonna have to have $500 worth of tools to build it, but hey, guess what? It takes 2 minutes to put together when you actually use the proper equipment for it. With that being said, you know, I was probably on this thing for like 20 minutes, and obviously we're boosting it up for the video to get some clicks. By the way, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff for my immense pain of having to put this together. So it wasn't that bad. All in all, it's put together now. It's good. As you can see, it's not going anywhere. I mean, this thing, there's not a crease, a crevice for the gecko to come out, and that's really what we look forward to. So, again, 20 minutes out of your day being a little bit upset, I'd rather do that than having risk the animal gets out. This thing is not going anywhere. It is not shaky, wobbly. Like, I can wobble it, but, like, I mean, it's solid. It's a very solid put-together thing, which is very impressive for the price. The quality of the, not ingredients, the supplies they use is very nice. It feels solid, it feels sturdy, and for the price tag of $30, I mean, that's a hell of a deal. So, Zen Habitats, take notes. Look, it wasn't a 20-minute torture session trying to peel this paper off. That my trash can was right there. This enclosure is finished. We are actually going to be using this for my lineatus day gecko, smaller species of day geckos that we have that hopefully we will get a female for here very soon. Now right now this guy is chilling in a glass enclosure, and I did end up removing everything except for this cork tube, hence why there's like a big kind of empty spot right here. That's where the cork tube's going to go. Fingers crossed he's in there, so this will be a nice easy transaction of just moving the cork tube into this enclosure and calling it a day. It usually doesn't work like that, but we can always hope, right? She's a day gecko, most like all the other smaller species are going to be very quick, very fast. They're not like the Urdactylodes, which are pretty small and handleable. These guys are small and fast, so it would not be fun chasing this guy in this entire room, so let's hope this goes nice and easy. You know, a rare instance where things actually go according to plan. He actually was in the cork tube. It wasn't really interesting, so I didn't film it, so just put the cork tube in there, and he's good to go. Finally, I can move this guy over here and unveil something that I haven't showed you guys, and this is going to be my new micro gecko rack system. Here you guys go, the new shelf system. Now that the crested geckos are in a full rack system, we were able to utilize this shelf for something different. Going along, we've got morning geckos in here, the lineatus that we just did with that enclosure build. We have a female standing eye that's just kind of over here. She'll move eventually, but right now this is just where I can put her. Urdactylodes right here, cave gecko growouts, and then our breeder cave geckos are going to be down on the bottom. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, we have had the Urdactylodes in this for about a week before we even set this enclosure up for you guys on camera, and honestly, it's done perfect. I have literally no complaints about it. I guess my one complaint is just the building process, a little bit of pain in the ass, but I can't really fault the enclosure company because every enclosure company with this type of build has been equally annoying, so it isn't just specifically put on them. Awesome, it's beautiful. I actually dig the white, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. It's really hard getting B-roll and taking pictures with the Toki geckos because it's completely black except for the UVB light on there. With these guys, the white reflects that lighting a little bit better, makes it a little bit more easier to take pictures of them, especially especially when you're talking about day geckos having that beautiful, vibrant, either greens and then coloration in there. I'd like to do that on a bit of a white background to really emphasize the beautifulness that they have. Honestly, as far as the price goes, this has to be the best bang for your buck enclosure for something like these micro geckos. You can use them for a variety of different things, grow out enclosures for baby new cows, things like that, because you are able to utilize some UVB up there. There are some other species that can go into it. And for the price tag of $30 per cage, I mean, there's really nothing like when we're talking, I mean, aquariums themselves are like 20, 40 bucks for a 10, 15 gallon, or you can get this thing, front opening, great sleek design, sturdy, for about the same price. I think they're absolutely fantastic. As I promised at the beginning of the video, there is going to be a chance to win 2 of these enclosures. My good buddies over at Tuxarium? No, I like Tuxarium better. Did actually end up sending me 3 and then having 2 held back for 2 winners of followers of Dakota Blue Exotics. Pretty much how I decided to do this is going to be you put comment down in the comment section what gecko or animal you would put inside this enclosure. And of the first day, December 1st, Friday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, we will be doing a live stream announcing the winners of that giveaway. All you need to do, like I mentioned, is to enter, go in that comment section, comment which species of reptile you would put inside these enclosures, and I'll add you to the listing. We'll pick the giveaway people at that time on that live stream. And as always, if you guys didn't have enough of me just banging my head against the wall, here's a great video of me building another enclosure and getting angry at it, or you maybe want to check out this playlist of some geckos that we have over here. As always, thank you guys so much for taking the time of your day to follow us over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. I will see you guys next time, but until then, goodbye.